How are you today? Before I get to this commentary, did you notice the thumbnail of Rush Limbaugh in the most unflattering way? I know the man is dying, and I'm sorry he's dying on a human level, human to human level. I am, but I feel very uncharitable toward Rush Limbaugh today because he should have no pity as far as being made fun of. Oh, I'm sorry he's going to die with his lung cancer, but the man deserves no respect, even as he's dying. What am I talking about? Well, on January 6th, when the electoral votes were to be called, whereby Vice President Pence supposed to declare Joe Biden as the president uh, to be, which is mostly kind of a ceremonial, symbolic, kind of a flump, pomp, and circumstances, just something that's done by tradition in the Senate. A mob of pro-Trump supporters stormed Capitol Hill because there was a protest that was going on called "Stop the Steal," and that's and because these Trump supporters felt like that Trump was cheated out of this election. I mean, and they really believe that. I mean, and it's really sad. But they went and stormed the U.S. Senate chamber and went into the halls of Congress. This was an actual insurrection, a poorly orchestrated one, but still an insurrection. And this insurrection was transpiring a few days ago. Very comical when you think about it. And it was the most botched up looking coup you can imagine. It's shocking and humorous simultaneously. At the same time, it is. It's like, and you know that Saturday Night Live will have a lot of material to work with. I bet you they were like, hot diggity damn, we got some comedy material. But anyway, Mike Pence, as the place was being stormed, there was all the breaking in the windows and all these crazy people running in there with the Confederate flag and Trump flag and all of that. I mean, and somebody dressing up as a Viking coming into that chamber. I mean, it was really just surreal. I mean, watching that. Well, Vice President Mike Pence was rushed to safety. A lady got killed. I don't know if anybody else got killed, or I know there was some arrests that were made, and the people in this insurrection. I just want to say that these people were a fringe, or a group of zealots, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you that I don't even think that that these people are representative of the average Republican or the average conservative, or even, strangely enough, even the average Trump supporter. I mean, I just refuse to believe that, and because I just think that these people were just a kooky bunch of people, angry at life, angry at how our society is, and and they blame the wrong people. The blaming of the immigrants and blaming of blaming the gay people, blaming Hollywood, all of that, and that when they need to realize that corporate America, the income inequality of the last 40 years is largely the blame of these people who supported Trump and everybody in general, most people in general, regardless of your political affiliation, your race, your gender, your whatever stances, yeah, circumstances in life you live. Of course, yesterday I was I woke up in the afternoon. I had to run some errands, and as I was doing so, I will go and turn on the radio and just to listen to Rush Limbaugh because I was kind of curious what Rush Limbaugh was going to say about this. Because I mean, and just as a side note, a lot of I have heard people tell me you criticize Rush Limbaugh, and I think you never listened to any of his programs. Uh, that's not true. I actually have listened to Rush Limbaugh quite a bit. I actually listen to a lot of right wing radio, just and right wing programs as well as my left wing programs. I just try to keep myself informed and then just trying to see how people are going to view things and what perspective they're going to take, including Rush. And of course, as usual, I'm correct. I knew what his reaction was going to be and his take was going to be, and it was what I thought it was. And he decided to take the partisan path. He claimed that Antifa orchestrated this to make the Trump supporters look bad. I knew he was going to do that. I really knew he was going to go there. I mean, and just kind of, I mean, it's typical of Rush. But I mean, the thing about it is that if Antifa did this to make to make um, to make the Trump supporters look bad. I mean, actually, they don't really. They it was wrong. It would be wrong. I would condemn it if they were really Antifa people and their objective was to make Trump supporters look bad. I mean, that would be uncalled for. But I don't believe that's the case. I believe they were a tiny, tiny fringe of people that just happened to be pro-Trump that did this sort of thing. Now, several years ago, almost 4 years, 3.5 years ago, John Hodgkins went to Washington D.C. and he knew where there were going to be members of Republican members of Congress getting together, and I think it was for some kind of baseball game that they do in Congress or something like that. And he knew about it, and he went and shot at Congressman Steve Scalise and and Senator Rand Paul and some others. And I'm trying to. I don't know if he himself was killed in the process or what have you. It's been a while back, but I remember that the word was that Hodgkins was a Bernie Sanders supporter and a left wing activist. Well, Bernie Sanders condemned his actions, and rightly so. Um, and but the thing about it is that Rush Limbaugh and the right wing media wasted no opportunity to lump Bernie Sanders with violent radical far leftists that would go and shoot those that he would be in disagreement with. And in other words, it's always blame the left. And anything bad that happens, you blame the left. That is who you blame. You absolve yourself and act like your side is virtuous and perfect and without sin, but the other side is dark and evil and always collaborating and they're always the one that's committing evil and it's just kind of like the culture war has always, I mean, for the past 20 years has kind of been building up that kind of momentum. And so you got these right wing people, and you got people on the left they're guilty of the same thing too. But in this instance, you got these right wing people that they wake up in the morning and their objective is to smear the left. And I don't mean smear radical leftists, but smear anybody who's let's say anybody who's to the left of in 2020, 2021, anybody who would be to the left of Joe Manchin of West Virginia, the Republican who pretends to be a Democrat in the U.S. Senate. But point I'm trying to make is that this is what they do, and so they're they don't know any other way other than to demonize their political opponents and take the humanity out of their opponents. Now, I know that people on the left kind of do the same thing too, and it's part of that partisan red team, blue team divide in America, and both sides use the culture war against each other. And but the thing about it is that when the right wing are the ones that take it to a darker level, and I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying everybody who's center right or anybody who's conservative, what have you. I'm just saying, but there is a portion of those on the right that engages in this sort of smear tactics, and they dehumanize their political opponents. Now, as I said, Rush Limbaugh is dying right now from lung cancer. On a human level, I'm sorry, he's dying of lung cancer. But Rush Limbaugh can really fuck off as far as I'm concerned. That's right, Rush Limbaugh. Fuck you for what you're doing. Not even with a tragedy, and your ass is about to die, and you can't even have the good graces to say, this is unfortunate, and you're going to go around and you just to get your political jollies off, you're going to go and blame your political people you disagree with. Fuck you, Rush. Fuck you, Rush Limbaugh. I mean, to smear Democrats, smear liberals, smear anybody who's progressive. I mean, and a lot of people that listen to Rush, and he used to talk about low information, and refer to people who listen to non-conservative media, what they think is non-conservative media, call these people low information voters. Low information voters are people that sit there and interpret everything Rush Limbaugh says as gospel, or Sean Hannity, or Mark Levin, or people like that. And that these people that sit there and listen to these ghouls like Limbaugh, Hannity, and Levin, they're the ones that are low information voters. They're the ones, they don't have any nuances. Only thing they know how to do is to be fucking partisan and everything. But I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to go on a side note here. The 25th Amendment needs to be utilized right now because Donald Trump needs to be removed from office. He needs to be removed from. He is a danger to the United States. He might be a danger to the world. We're talking about somebody who is mentally disturbed. Somebody who has access to the phone lines that could go and codes for nuclear weaponry. Who knows what dangers? He's unstable. He needs to be removed from office right now. I mean, for the past 4 years, I've said that Mike Pence was more dangerous than Donald Trump, and until day before yesterday, I felt that way. I don't feel that way anymore, and I can't stand Mike Pence. And still, Mike Pence is probably further right than Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is mentally ill, and for the good of this country, before any further damage can be done, I think that the 25th Amendment needs to be utilized right now and to remove Donald Trump from office before any more damage can be done. I mean, he's a far dangerous man, far more dangerous than I thought. At this point, he might even be far more dangerous than George W. Bush was as president. So, anybody in Washington, D.C. that can hear me, do what you can to utilize the 25th Amendment to remove that man from office right now. But getting back to Rush Limbaugh, anyone who listens to Rush Limbaugh in the year 2021, they need to have their heads examined. I mean, I remember a few years ago, I read a blog um, from William Geen from ALIPAC, Americans for Legal Immigration, a right wing xenophobe, and he wrote a glowingly praise um, article on how wonderful Rush Limbaugh is. Anybody who knows who William Geen is, William Geen used to be a progressive, a liberal. I used to work with him when I was in the College Democrats at East Carolina. And he went from being a relative liberal, he was pro Bill Clinton at one time, to becoming this extreme right wing asshat over the years with his alt right alley pack. The people who wants to declare war on brown people, acting like only immigrants are causing all the problems in this country and everything. And so, I would just say to William Geen is he's nuts. Of course, he praised Rush Limbaugh after denouncing Rush Limbaugh in the early '90s. He praises Rush Limbaugh today. So you need to know about the mentality of the average Rush Limbaugh supporter in 2021. So that was my chance. I just felt like talking shit about William Gaynor at this moment. So that was my chance to do that. Since the asshole blocked me off of Facebook and blocked me off of one of my Twitter accounts. You haven't seen the last of me on Facebook or Twitter, William Geen. I will troll your ass again. Anyway, if any of you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you were perturbed by what I have to say, comment anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As the First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you that if you're passionate about something and you have a platform, utilize it. If you're passionate about something, you don't have a platform, create that platform online, utilize it, because we're the muckrakers of our time. Feel free to subscribe to this channel, help it make it grow. I am getting close to 200 subscribers now, and you and you and you and you who haven't subscribed yet, there's a chance to do so. So my channel can be relevant in the future. But anyway, that's what I got to say right now. And I am very sleepy, so I'm going to leave you on that note. So until next time, peace. And Bernie Sanders for president in the year 2024.